Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Take on Tottenham. My name is Ben, and this is my take on Tottenham. Full-time result: Liverpool 1, Tottenham 1. What an incredible game! I just and it wasn't the same as the first game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I thought Spurs were more attacking in that game than this game, but it was a really good game to watch. And I've got a lot of good things to say about Spurs. I've got some negatives, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Um, was the pressure intense? Yes, as much as I thought it would be, as much as anybody thought it would be for this game, and with what Liverpool are playing for as well. But yeah, well, let's get into it. Starting lineup, the only change really was Deki Kulusevski back into the starting lineup after last week's switch out for Lucas, which didn't work at all. Yeah, apart from that, everything's the same. And to be honest, Spurs have kind of got their hands tied on their starting 11 at the minute. It is quite predictable. Unfortunately, there's not really much rotation they can do at the minute. So it's one of them really. But yeah, it's still a strong team. And Liverpool, as expected, came out flying. Um, Spurs, it was kind of obvious that the game plan was going to be absorb, and try and catch them out on the counter attack at some point. But again, it's so difficult when you've got defenders like Van Dijk. They're sometimes impossible to play against. He's that good, so it's not going to be a standard performance. Spurs have played against teams this season where they've hit them on the counter attack and the defense would be non-existent. Because Spurs are really good on the counter. But like I said, when Liverpool's defense and whatnot, it's not going to be an easy task. But Spurs were soaking up the pressure. They really were. Liverpool were whipping balls in, having shots, passing it into the box. But Spurs were soaking it up. They honestly, I was not expecting it. I thought we'd quite comprehensively get rolled over today. I thought it. Liverpool. I said it in last week's video. Liverpool and Man City kind of just keep going on making each other better. It's kind of like a Goku and Vegeta vibe from Dragon Ball. Like each one tries to outdo the other one, and in turn they both just keep getting better. And that's kind of like the standards that they're setting, and that is shown in the points total that they've amassed in the league table this season. Like, look at the gap between the top two and then Chelsea in third, who dropped points today. It's just like a whole different world, and I'm yeah, basically I'm getting off on tangent. This is a Liverpool dedication video apparently. Yeah, Spurs were soaking up the pressure. Sessegnon nearly scored a tremendous own goal. Don't really know what he was doing. He went up for a header to clear. I can't remember who floated the ball in. He went to clear it, and the ball just started. It went the wrong way. It went back towards our goal, looping up, and Lloris was completely caught out with it, and more so because Salah was lurking as well. It was looping into the goal, and Lloris made an amazing save to get his hand on it, and not only get it away from Salah, who, like I said, was lurking around, but to just get it out and get it away. It was a really good goal. Really good goal. It was a really good save. I did think at times today our passing was terribly sloppy, really bad, and we know because you can't afford just I'd say in the Premier League in general, but against these elite teams like Man City as well, you can't afford to give them an ounce like anything because they will absolutely punish you for it, and you kind of just have. I know it's easy to say, but you just have to be perfect. You have to get everything perfect. No sloppy passing, no giving possession away really lazily. You've got to be on it every single second of the 90 minutes. And the passing just kept going and going away. Spurs, a lot of the time today, kept passing around the back between Luis, Dyer, to Davies, Romero, to Royale, then over to Sessegnon, and then they'd hoof the ball up and just give possession back to Liverpool, and then Liverpool would flood forward. And it happened so many times today, and that's one of my biggest critiques about it today. Spurs, in regards to their sloppy passing, it was also what's the word? It was a side effect of the press that Liverpool were doing. They were on every single pass. They were on us like a rush, and again that made us panic. It made us just try and hit the ball and hope for the best sort of thing, and yeah, it's just frustrating to watch. There were moments where we did handle that pressure fine at the back, but a large portion of the game it just kept happening. And like I said, if you're giving Liverpool an opportunity to load the ball into the box, or it's not going to end well. Apart from today, um, so Van Dijk as well. We've got to talk about Van Dijk because there was two corners Liverpool had. Van Dijk headed one, it went wide, and then he hit the bar on his second one, completely and utterly unmarked on both occasions. It gave me horrible flashbacks to the loss at Old Trafford. Not marking Ronaldo, a guy who's been doing that sort of header from further out as well, his whole career and scoring, and you're not marking him on a set piece. And Spurs, I think it was Emerson, not tracking, especially the one where Van Dijk hit the bar as well. Like he didn't track him at all. Van Dijk, he was with him at the start, and then Van Dijk just ran away, and Emerson just looked lost. He was like, "Oh, where am I? Who am I? Who am I? What team do I play for?" That's what it looked like. He literally looked like he just didn't know what was happening. Van Dijk went through and headed it, and it hit the bar. Lloris saved from Diaz first half. We then had a counter attack. Højbjerg hit the post, so close as well, so close, but really good effort from Højbjerg. Decky. This was a complaint I had as well in the first half in particular. Felt Decky was getting crowded out a lot. I felt like he'd get the ball, and who would have been marking? It would have been Robertson marking him predominantly, but I can't remember who else would have been there. Maybe Henderson. I'm not sure. Fabinho. He was getting crowded out. Might be even Thiago, maybe. I can't remember, but every single time Decky was on the ball, there's 2 or 3 players on him, and he'd run and he'd get crowded out, so he couldn't really spread the pass elsewhere on the pitch. And right there, I'm looking at it going, that's where the wing back system for Conte, that's where it works. That's you need your wing backs overlapping to help help a player like Decky out, gives him another option going forward to get the ball out. He never had that, and unfortunately, that criticism again falls on Emerson Royale. I don't take any pleasure in criticising him. I just think there's traits that, like you look at Matt Doherty in that position, he's making those overlapping runs, and that's why the wing back system under Conte works so well, because Doherty is really good at getting forward now. Obviously, wasn't the last couple of seasons, but and I don't think it's a coincidence that we've seen sort of Decky drop off a little bit since Doherty's injury. It's unfortunate. I think he just needed a bit more support, and unfortunately, Royale just wasn't offering that. He'd stay back. Maybe that's what he was told by Conte. Don't overlap, stay back more defensively, and let the rest, let Sessegnon go forward. But I don't know. I just felt that was a bit of a struggle for Kulusevski. Second half, same thing really. Came out under pressure straight away. Lloris, this is what I was on about, giving possession away. Lloris, we're moving up the field, available for counter-attack, throws the ball straight to Salah. And then all of a sudden, Liverpool have a sustained amount of pressure on our box. It's just frustrating to see. I don't know. It's not good. And then, somehow, we scored a goal against Liverpool. I don't understand how it made no sense if you were watching the game because it was all Liverpool. But it was a really well worked goal, and this is what I think Spurs had. They were getting in. There were times that were getting in behind Liverpool in the first half as well. They just Liverpool were just so good on getting back and getting it covered. I think Kane had a chance in the first half. He got in behind and went to take a shot, and Henderson just stuck with him and got a tackle in and whatnot. But yeah, that's what I mean. It's just been it was difficult to make any clear cut chances. But yeah, we got the goal. Lloris pumped it up to Royale, who hoofed it up to Kane. Kane, oh my god, I was screaming. I was screaming because I saw Kane's coming off on this side, and I saw Sessegnon making a run. I was like, just pass it to Sessegnon. Don't shoot. Send it to Sessegnon because he was wide open. And luckily he did a perfect ball through to Sessegnon. And I was like, all right, shoot, Sess. Shoot at the goal. I didn't even see Sonny in the middle, and perfect ball, squared it to Sonny, who had probably the easiest goal he scored this season. Nice tap in, and Spurs against the run of play, you have to say, 1-0 up. It was a great move though, really, really good move, really well worked, and just good passing, you know. I thought Bentancur struggled a bit today. I thought he was conceding a lot of silly fouls in silly places. I think quite a few on the edge of the box. You know, you've got Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson. You know, on free kicks, it's not good to concede any free kicks basically against Liverpool, but more so in those areas. Luckily, nothing came from them. We did have like I said in the first half, there was chances where they kept getting in behind. They had a really good chance not long after the goal, where we had it was kind of 2-on-1. Emerson Royal he got the ball on the right hand side. He got into some space, and we had Cess on the left. I think it might have been Sonny in the middle, and the cross was just so poor. And there was one Liverpool defender, I can't remember who it was, but you were kind of outnumbered in the box, and the cross went in, and it didn't meet anybody. It wasn't a good cross at all, and that was such a wasted chance. And then I kind of just stopped writing after that because I was getting sucked into the game and whatnot. Liverpool got their goal, and do you know what? I'm gutted. I'm obviously gutted, but I'm gutted for the defense because they did so well today. They really did. For a defence that I have criticised a hell of a lot this season, they did so well today. And I am proud, and I'm so gutted that I'm gutted that Liverpool's goal came from a deflection. If I had to say, without this sounding weird, I would rather have Liverpool scored a goal without the deflection because I felt like the defence just didn't deserve to concede that sort of goal. They'd worked their asses off, you know, the whole game, and even after conceding, they did. And to concede that sort of goal, you know, again, it was coming. The pressure was going, but Diaz got through, took his shot. It was going on that post, and then I think he came off Bentancur, just off the toe of his boot. It just sent it the other way, straight in the goal, and then you were kind of like, if you're a Spurs fan, don't lie, you felt that feeling where you went, this is gonna, you know how this is gonna go, capitulation FC, because I've seen it so many times over the years, and luckily they held on. Granted, Liverpool came forward. They, as you would have expected, Anfield was rocking, pressure, but luckily, Spurs, you know, were resolute, and they had the chance to win it. I don't know why Højbjerg decided. Well, I do. Like, I understand why he made the decision. He was onside, and he had a header, and he could have even let it drop and maybe volleyed it into the net or headed it, but he tried to header it down to Kane, kind of in a weird way, similarly how Sessegnon passed it back to Sonny, but just with his head for Højbjerg. Oh god, I don't know why he didn't shoot. He should have just shot. Oh, it's so frustrating because that would have won it. That would have been like the last kick of the game, and yeah, so frustrating. We never win at Anfield. We never do. and sometimes Spurs don't turn up. Sometimes, in the last few years they tend to put in performances and sometimes still end up losing. I remember Mourinho took us here, and I thought we played really well defensively again. And I think Firmino turned up in the last second and scored the winner. But again, it was an onslaught. But I don't know. I'm glad that we've got something out of the game. I'm glad that we got a point. I'm glad that a point is better than nothing. Does it help us in the Champions League? No, because now it means even if I can't remember, I need to look at the table, but it's not in our hands anymore. If Spurs had won their last 4 games, they would be in the Champions League because obviously one of them is Arsenal. But now Spurs, I can't remember how the table goes now, but obviously we have to get a win against Arsenal on Thursdays. No ifs, buts, or maybes. A draw doesn't rule it out for Spurs at all. Not by any means. Will absolutely require some luck in regards to other results, and that's not to say that might not happen. But Spurs need to just, I know it's simple to say, win every game now and just hope that maybe a turn in fortune. It's out of their hands now. But yeah, they need a win on Thursday now against Arsenal. I'm looking at my paper. I've not even wrote anything down after the Højbjerg. I literally wrote Højbjerg last chance, and that was it. I haven't wrote anything about any players, so let's talk about players that I can remember off the top of my head that had a good game. Lloris made some good saves today. Some errors as well with his passing and whatnot, but started the move for the goal. Made some really key saves. Ben Davies was brilliant today. I have to give it to him. He was fantastic. Christian Romero again, a little few sloppy moments, but again was fantastic. I thought Eric Dyer was brilliant as well today. I got to do a little mini shout out for Eric Dyer because he'll be watching this video. But a bit of I just think I've given a lot of flack for Dyer over the years in being a defender, especially the first season when Mourinho was here, like Mourinho's first full season. Because I never saw Dyer being good as a centre back, especially he started out in midfield, defensive mid, and he wanted to move into centre back. But the first couple of seasons, he was not doing good enough job at to be a centre back. And I kind of always thought, why don't Spurs just go out and get a established centre back instead of trying to turn an experiment with one? And it wasn't working. I think Dyer's been magnificent this season. I think he's really done good, and he's formed such a good partnership with Romero, but obviously as the back three as well with Davies as well. I think he's really improved this season. Under Conte, he's really improved. Spurs still have some really sloppy moments in defence because that's just how we are. About some days we're solid, some days we're very, very nerve-wracking to watch, but I think he's had a massive improvement. And I thought today he was getting on everything, as was Romero, as was Davies. They were headering balls out. There's a key block that Davies made. Salah got the ball. You thought, oh god, this is going to go top corner. He unleashed the shot, and Davies he did everything to get into the way of that ball, and he blocked the shot, and it was just brilliant. Put everything on the line defending. I thought. And you know what? I'm going to give him some praise. I thought he had some moments that absolutely frustrated me, but I'm going to give Emerson Royal some praise. I thought defensively he was solid today. Improvements absolutely needed, but I'll give him some praise because I thought the whole back line, the whole team did well today. I thought soaking up that amount of pressure with that atmosphere. And I think, Sassignon as well struggled at times. Absolutely struggled with Salah. Who doesn't? That's not a massive criticism really. But Sassignon, I thought going forward as well was really good. I thought the way he conducted himself, so calm and composed to pass that back to Sonny to get the goal, I thought was really, really good. And yeah, Kane quiet. I think really quiet today. Not his best game. Not even in the same galaxy as the Man City game. Very quiet from Kane. Sonny was quiet. mostly. He got better in the second half. Obviously, he got the goal. I just felt with Sonny, there was a couple of times where he was running forward and it was just that hesitancy that you sometimes creeps into his game. If he just carries on bombing forward, his pace can get past the defenders, but sometimes he just has this thing where he just hesitates, drops back, and by that time, especially like I said with Liverpool's defence, they just get back and just you've lost your opportunity. But yeah, I think Kulusevski I thought was good today as well. Running a lot, trying to get forward. Like I said earlier, struggled a lot because he didn't have the support going forward either. I thought Bentancur had a poor game, as I said as well. Conceding silly fouls at times. Was kind of struggling in my opinion. Højbjerg was really good today. I thought. I thought he hit the post. He had that shot at the last. Oh my god, it is so frustrating. In another like universe like that's gone in somewhere, and Spurs are celebrating their first victory in God knows how long at Anfield. Yeah, maybe it wasn't meant to be. Steven Bergwijn came on. Is he? Do we know if Bergwijn's got some clause in his contract that doesn't allow him to come on before the 85th minute? Because I can't remember the last time that I saw him come on when the clock wasn't, in the last 10 minutes of the game. It's frustrating to see. I don't really want to lose Bergwijn in the summer, but it's going to happen, isn't it? Probably. Sanchez came on. It was solid when he came on. I was worried, but he was solid. But man of the match, I think it has to go to. I'd probably go with what BT said. Probably Ben Davies. I thought he was just superb today. But if I could, I'd split it between the whole defense. I thought that the whole defense did sterling today. I thought that honestly they were really good. Not many teams can come here and hold out. And like I said, to concede the goal with a deflected effort, I feel so good for them. But need Leeds, I believe. Arsenal playing tomorrow. Leeds need them to do us a favour. Hopefully they will. That'd be really good. If they could get a win, awesome. Draw, that'd be good. I can't see them. I can't see Arsenal losing it though. I think Arsenal are going to go to Leeds, having seen this result and gone right. We can put a bit of a gap in now. So I think Arsenal will win tomorrow. I hope I'm wrong, but I think they will. And yeah, then all eyes on Thursday night, North London derby. One of the biggest North London derbies for a while, for a very long time. They're big games anyway, but this is important now. This is season defining, and Spurs need to turn up. They need to turn up. If anyone's watched my channel over the last year and a half, nearly 2 years of having it, or 2 seasons, should we say? Any time that we've had a derby match, but in particular a North London derby, I've only asked one thing, and I asked this across the board in terms of any game. I just want to see us give 110%. I just want, if they come off that pitch, having give 110% and they're still lost, you can hold your head up high and say, look, we did everything we could. It's when they come off the pitch and they've put in a, awful performance, turgid, rubbish, everything, and we've seen that so much this season. Even under Conte, we've seen performances like that. You want them to at least show some heart, and that's all you ask for in a North London derby, is that they show heart and they show passion. And absolutely, form goes out the window with these matches. But the size of the match, what's on the line, and also just the fact it's a North London derby. That stadium needs to be rocking on Thursday. It's a weird. I know it's a fixture build-up problem that they had to slot it in somewhere. I find it weird that they stuck it on a Thursday night. It's a very odd day to have a North London derby, but that stadium needs to be rocking, singing from minute 1 to minute 90, and just and hopefully they can go and get the result and push on, because they've put themselves in a good position. So we need to see what happens, but we will see. So I will see you guys on Thursday night, unless anything drastic happens in between. But But yeah, really good performance tonight against a very amazing team. I do hope that Liverpool go on and win the title. I'm sorry that our teams has maybe put like a hurdle in that, and a hurdle, a road, I don't know, something in the road on the way to that. But yeah, it's just one of them really. So I will see you guys in the next video. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe, all that, and I'll see you guys soon. And as always, come on, you Spurs.